They come to a situation that this place is too small. Well, we could spend $1,000 for food, not just a couple hundred.
Man.
Oh man, that would be good. And I hope I make the money too. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble. Anyways, guys, so one thing that I wanted to discuss with this week's portion, you know about the mitzvah of circumcision, right? The mitzvah of circumcision, Brit Milah, was given to Abraham, but then Abraham was the first, person that got a circumcision at the age of 99. That was like a little bit strange. Yeah, guys, you're gonna get it at the end. Don't worry about it. There's so much to pay attention for 5 minutes. Yeah, leave it. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Anyways, then Yishmael at that time was 13, and he got her circumcision at 13. When I was in Iran, actually, the Muslims, the real religious ones, would get circumcised at age of 13. And it was very funny because, these guys are huge, they're big. They can't wear diapers, so they had to wear, what ladies wear, like these long clothes and hold it. They shouldn't get stuck, to their body. It was like, we were kids, we used to make fun. But honestly, it's very, very painful. And then we get it at the age of 8 days old. So there's actually in the Medrash a discussion that later on when Yitzchak and Ishmael grew up, they had a discussion whose circumcision was better. That means which one was a higher mitzvah.
What, did they compare?
Yeah, because he would say, I'm greater. I mean, in a spiritual way. Don't take it in a physical way. So what happens is actually Ishmael said, my circumcision was a lot higher because I had a choice not to do it. I had a choice to decide not to do it. I was 13 years old. I could have told Abraham, no, I don't want to do it. I did it by choice. But you were 8 days old. You had no choice. You know what's going on. So actually, my circumcision is not a lot higher. It is much higher level. It was more painful. Also, he did it with his knowledge. He understood it. But you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on. You had no choice. So the Medrash only says that Yitzchak said, no, my circumcision is higher. Doesn't explain why. And the truth is the fact that we do that 8 days old, there must be a reason that is better than doing it at the age of 13. Can I have questions? If you want to talk, please go outside. Come back for the food. We're in the same team. Please remember that. Anyway, so what goes on, we have to understand why at 8 days old. So see what happens is that there's two types of connections. We're a little bit deep, but you guys are smart, you understand it. There's certain connections that they make sense. It's logical. For example, two people do business together. Because they do business together, they need each other, so they have a good relationship between each other. But imagine a day will come that they no longer do business. Then the relationship is finished. Because the only reason what connected us was only our business deals. If you don't deal with each other, forget it. Let's say somebody did me a favor. So because I needed him, he helped me. So I like him because he did me a favor. What happens if tomorrow is going to stab me? I have no reason to love him anymore. The only reason why I liked him, because I had benefit from him. If there's no benefit, no relationship at all. There's certain relationships that are beyond logic. They don't make sense. But just because you're one, you have that relationship. One of the best ones that they bring is the love that parents have to children, the love that children have to their parents. Imagine a kid, God forbid, he's not really accomplishing much. He went in the wrong way or is taking drugs or whatever, he's wasting his life. Are you going to say the parents don't like him? The kid has nothing to love about him, maybe, God forbid. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about kids in China. All right? Kids in Gaza, whatever it is. Jews are all good. Whatever the case is, really the kid has nothing. Well, let's say in our community, there's some kids that really are wasting their lives. But are you going to say the parents don't love them? Of course the parents love them. But the kid doesn't accomplish anything. Why is it they love them? Because I don't like my kid because he's a good kid. I love my kid because he's part of me. There's no reason to, just like a person loving himself. Do you love yourself because you're a good person? The person might be a lousy person. The fact that I love myself is not because of a logical reason. Even evil people love themselves because that love is not logical. So this is the exactly difference between Ishmael and Yitzchak as the father of the Jews. Ishmael's connection to God was only logical. It made sense. He was 13, his brains became complete. He understood everything. And because he was actually educated by Abraham Avinu, of course, Abraham taught him proper things. So now you have a choice. Should I go through the pain and get connected to God? Or no, you know what? God is not so good. I'd rather not go through the pain and let me not be connected to God. Having such a great education, it made sense to him that it's better to go through the pain, to get circumcised, and to get connected to God. However, a connection that a Jew has to God is not because he understands God and he chooses. you're internally connected. I'm sure you have spoken about it many times. Every Jew has a godly soul within him. Besides having a human soul that every person in the world has, a Jew is given as a gift a part of God, which is the godly soul. So therefore, you're connected to God not because of a reason, not because you understand it, because you have something in you which is part of God. So you don't have to wait to understand God to get connected. When is the first time that you can make somebody to have a connection with God? Through circumcision. You have to wait till the 8th day. You know why? Because they say there's a certain vitamin K, whatever they call that makes the bleeding stop. So that develops in the body at 8 days old.
So if you
Actually, your father's a doctor, right? I asked him, he said it's absolutely true. Now, in the hospitals that actually circumcise the kids as soon as they're born, the Christians, so they actually inject in them that vitamin so they don't bleed.
if you get cut and you're like what 6 days old,
I mean, the bleeding is going to be a lot. It's possible, at least. The possibility is that the kid will bleed a lot. So we wait till 8 days old because we are internally connected. We are one with God no matter what. So the first option that we have at 8 days old, we do it. You don't have to wait to understand, and then you make a logical connection. The connection to God is a lot deeper. Is that clear, people? And we actually find it by Jews. There were Jews that didn't keep anything. Nothing. They didn't even live like Jews. But the moment you know that somebody put them at a test, either worship the idols or I'm going to kill you. These guys didn't live like Jews. They didn't keep kosher, didn't keep Yom Kippur. But he said, a Jew I am. I'm not a good Jew, but I'll never worship idols. Yet majority of Jews that did it. They don't even realize it. Why? Because internally they're connected. This is the value that each one of you guys have. Every Jewish person has it. You're a godly being. Remember that. It's not that you're like anybody else. Just God gave you commandments to keep. You're a different breed, you know what I'm saying? You're a different type of a creation. You're godly people. Thank you for listening, everyone.